Hey everyone, Sparks here again with another beginner-focused video about Dissidia Omnia, and in this one I'll be going over the new highest difficulty of content that launched not too long ago with the end of the Act 2 story, Lufenia. This is what the introduction of LD and burst weapons in summer was gearing us up for, and in this video I'll go over what separates it from the other difficulties and why you want to do them. With that out of the way, let's get into it. On paper, Lufenia doesn't seem like it should be too much harder than Chaos. Chaos is rated level 180, while Lufenia is rated level 200. However, similar to how Chaos adds a difficulty push the mechanic where as an enemy's health goes down it'll gain increased stats, Lufenia introduces another one, the countdown. I should mention though that Lufenia actually adds a bit to the stat increase mechanic, straight up decreasing the amount of brave damage your units do. They also sometimes gain a variety of assorted, debilitating auras and effects compared to their Chaos versions, but the real mechanic introduced by Lufenia is the countdown. The Lufenia Special Countdown, also sometimes called the Lufenia Orb within the community, was introduced as an anti-delay and anti-turn deletion mechanic, unique for every single Lufenia fight. It's so ingrained into the difficulty that it even gets its own section in the enemy info. Said info can be checked before the fight, during the fight by holding on an enemy, or outside the game by checking out resources like the Lufenia Records website, which is an offshoot of the always great Dissidia DB website. Every main Lufenia boss has a trigger condition for their countdown, which most often is an HP conditional. From there are several options for its behavior. Some bosses have a cancel condition, which removes the countdown from play until its trigger condition is possibly met again. There are pause and increase conditions, which pause the countdown until the enemy's next turn or increase it by some particular amount respectively. And then after that, there's the tick condition, which is why it's considered an anti-delay mechanic. For every player action, active countdowns decrease by 1, and on enemy action, they're decreased by 2. This is almost completely consistent between all Lufenia bosses so far, no random increased tick value conditions, and I've only seen one case where an enemy action makes a tick by 1 instead. Upon reaching 0, the enemy will do a count ability, which is usually just a powered up version of one of its existing attacks. Up until now, there have been a few count abilities that are survivable through some means, but starting with the Sephiroth Burst event Lufenia boss, count abilities are basically just team wipes, so you will need some means of affecting the countdown or just having enough damage to essentially race the countdown. There will be a Lufenia difficulty fight available for every piece of content from now on. And similar to Chaos fights, it will become something you will want to try and get to as it does open up means of progression. Akin to Cosmos fights offering pages and Chaos fights offering nuggets, Lufenia fights offer purple armor tokens. These are used to get new 7-star base armor, which at the moment does not have a means of limit break, and are traded at a rate of 1 Lufenia completion to 1 piece of armor, and compared to base 5-star and 6-star armors, these are tremendously more useful. There are 5 separate archetypes of passives between these armors, similar to how all the other armors have those passives like Shatter, Vigor, Destruction, Shelter, etc. The most general effect you're going to see in these armors is damage limit breaks for max bravery and for HP damage akin to burst effects, either for just that unit or for the party. Besides that, there's also the same limit breaking for brave hits, stat boosts, boost to party battery, and enemy stat down auras, and some of those boosting effects are also applied to the party as well, which do fully stack with any other Lufenia armors in the party. As I mentioned, at this time, these armors have no limit breaks, but later on, they will gain a limit break mechanic. It's similar to upgrading 6-star base gear, requiring a new kind of book and ingot item. Each limit break will provide an increasing boost to brave and HP limits, either for just that unit or for the party, and at varying effectiveness sorta just depending on the unit. It's just something to know, but the main takeaway I present in this video is that getting Lufenia armors helps a lot, and each singular one slowly helps you get more, just like EX Plus weapons. Hopefully, this video covered nicely enough what separates Lufenia from Chaos and why it's something you'll at some point want to do. While having to complete a Lufenia does make it a bit more cumbersome than clearing a Cosmos or Chaos, every Lufenia complete is 1 armor, versus 2 Cosmos fights for a book or 4 Chaos fights for an ingot. Lufenia fights will be available in both permanent and limited time content, so even if the limited time stuff goes away, once you have a means of handling the condition for any permanent Lufenia, you can go get the tokens and claim some armor. Redeeming armor with good benefits for a good unit will definitely have noticeable impact, so it'll hopefully make getting that next complete that little bit easier. If you liked the video and want to see others like it or other Omnia content, stick around, subscribe, and feel free to check out my other uploads. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again.